hit the subscribe button. Or don't. I really don't care one way or the other. Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video we have something a little bit different. I just noticed something. Was that dirt? Yeah, okay. This video, I'm going to be just giving my feelings, opinion on arcade 1-up machines. So, you know, I came from a childhood back in the days of the real arcade machines, grew up in the arcades. Basically, you go there, you compete against people if you need it. There's a tournament. You know, if you can talk the talk, good. If you talk the talk and couldn't back it up, you got laughed at. But you had to take it all in stride because, yeah, you get your ass kicked if you got out of line. Anyways, this is my what's the official name? The Arcade 1-Up Legacy Edition Yoga Flame Street Fighter Anniversary Machine. Whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Got this not too long ago. Built it. It's my second Arcade 1-Up machine. My first one is my Star Wars Atari, or Atari Star Wars machine. If I remember correctly, I also got that one at a discount. Now, Arcade 1-Up machines. What are my feelings on those? Well, let's get this in here. All right. So, I came up, in, like I said, in the days of the real arcade machines. I previously owned many arcade machines. If you watch my videos for since the beginning, I had game rooms filled with machines. I think the most machines I had at one time were 15, and that was a combination of my primary and secondary game room. The secondary at the time was my garage. Now my garage is mostly garage and home gym. So, I don't have any authentic arcade machines anymore. One of the reasons is because I got into pinball. Pinball, although you can say it takes up the same amount of space, because if there was an arcade machine right here, you really wouldn't have anything in front of it. So, pinball machines take up more square footage, but as far as unit placement, if they're not stacked in front of each other, it's about the same. But they're also more expensive. So I still got a few arcade boards. They're in storage, saving them for a rainy day. Arcade 1-Up machines. Do I think these are adequate replacements for true, authentic arcade machines? No. If I was to win the lottery and move into a big giant house and could have some big giant, room or basement dedicated to, being a game room, would I choose a bunch of Arcade 1-Up machines or a bunch of true arcade machines? I would choose the true arcade machines. One of the reasons why I don't think these are, a perfect replacement is the monitor. Arcade machines from days of long ago had CRT monitors, and those are better monitors, in my opinion, for these type of games. Now, I can understand the need and the want for Arcade 1-Ups. Could be people who never grew up in the arcades, never owned one, always wanted one. Excuse me. Always wanted one, and didn't have the technique, the know-how, where to find one, even know how to repair one. Didn't want to deal with the difficulties, which they can be difficult. Arcade 1-up machines, they're quote unquote, they're new, shouldn't have too many problems. If you do, it's under warranty, yada, yada, yada. Now, when these machines first came out, I think they were around the $350 mark. And they've crept up to, depending on which game, $500, $600, $700. My Star Wars, I think at the time it was $500. This one is $500. I only got these machines because I could get them at a discount. What was that? At a discount price out of pocket. Now, the height. Some machines, you can get a riser. They come with a riser, basically that thing down there. Some don't. If you want one, you can always buy one. But from the bottom of the riser to the top corner is about 61 inches. The control panel. Let's say you're going for a Street Fighter machine, or you want a true two-player machine. Okay, the control panel. It's less than 20 inches wide. So, let's say I want someone over and we're going to be pulling an all-nighter competing on some Super Turbo. Yeah, look at that. My arm is going into player 2 side. In order for two people to play this, I'm not even going to say comfortably, because it's not comfortable. You're going to be like this. And yeah, it's no good. The one thing I will say, some of these machines have one game on them, such as Atari Star Wars. Well, no, I'm wrong. Atari Star Wars has 3 Star Wars games on it. But there are arcade 1-up machines that only have one game on them, I believe. The more games you have, the better. For example, this one, you got one. Hold on, there we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. That's a pretty good amount. And they're really good games. Again, it's all emulation. In my opinion, the true arcade hardware is the best to own. What I do like about this particular machine is you can go online and play against other people. So, you're not just playing against the computer, the CPU. Artwork for these machines can be pretty nice. I mean, look at the Star Wars one. Unfortunately, I think these machines, as time goes on, they're going to get even more expensive. Like I said, some of these $500, $600, $700. But on the flip side, they do have some good games. I mean, there's a machine that's, I think it's just dedicated to only Terminator 2. And that's it. That's a good game. But I think that machine is also like $600. $600 for one game? Ugh. $500 for 14 games sounds better. Again, me personally, I'd rather have, an original, full, real arcade cabinet that could play all these games. But that's not going to happen. If I did have a real cabinet and I had all these games hooked up to it, there'd be a lot of wiring. Or, pop me out the old game, hook it in the new one. It takes time. The cool thing about these is you flip them on, you're ready to go. You want to change a game, takes less than 10 seconds. Versus on the real machines, if I was playing Super Turbo and I wanted to play Hyper Fighting, I'd have to open up the machine, remove the Super Turbo board, remove the kick harness for the Super Turbo game, install the Hyper Fighting board, install the Hyper Fighting kick harness. Yeah. Or if I left them both hooked up, you know, having a switcher going back and forth, adding, you know, an adjustable power supply, etc., etc., etc. I can appreciate that these are trying to look like our authentic arcade machines. Again, for me, I don't think they're true replacements. I mean, heck, if someone was to tell me, hey, would you like a real Atari Star Wars arcade cabinet or an arcade 1-up cabinet with the 3 games on it? Yeah, I'll take the real Atari Star Wars. This, you know, like I said, got it at a discount price. Cash out of hand, out of pocket was like $150, $175, something like that. Long story, lots of gift certificates, cards, trading stuff, hustling. But yeah, actual cash out, like less than $200. So for that, I think it's worth it. This for me. Yeah, take it for what you will. This is coming from someone who has owned arcade cabinets, someone who owns pinball machines, someone who grew up in the arcades, someone who has fixed arcade cabinets. Yeah. One thing you need to realize, though, these things are light. Look at that. Really, really light. Playing a game of Super Turbo in the arcade cabinet, you can get real physical, move these things around. They're not going anyplace because they are heavy. These things, yeah. What I might do is put, you know, I don't know, maybe a sandbag down in here or something. I don't know. No, you can't, because it's open on the inside. Yeah, there's no bottom panel, I believe. I have to look at the instructions again. I just noticed something which I would say is a design flaw. Yeah, you can't see it. So, let me show you something. Alright. Oh, never mind. I see what it is. It does suck that the T-molding kind of cuts off right there, but that's because it's a second piece that gets assembled. At this point, to me, it's like, well, there's a lot of people who don't like the risers, so I guess that's why they're keeping it, but maybe they should have 2 options, one with, or 3 options, one without the riser, one with the riser, and then one just straight up. Of course, that would mean the box is much bigger. Speaking of the box, yeah, that's how big the box is. Alright, so take it for what you will. I know I've been pretty hard and harsh on arcade 1-ups in the past, especially when they first came out. I stand by those words because those first generation of machines apparently had major problems. You know, artwork coming off, breaking, this and that. What I can appreciate is at least, you know, they fixed that problem by adding protectors. It's a Lexan protector here. So, yeah, it'll protect the side art. Probably without this side art. The art. Probably without the protector, it would rub off like those first gens. But, yeah. So, there you are. Until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.